This video is gonna give you a deep but practical and useful overview of karma. You heard of good karma. You heard of bad karma. Did you know that there is a third kind of karma? You can take an action and I can take the same action and you generate good karma and I generate bad karma. We're gonna understand why is that. And lastly, we're gonna extract out of the understanding something practical that we can actually use in our lives. Okay, so let's get started. Chapter 4 verse 17 of the Bhagavad Gita says, the intricacies of karma are hard to understand. One must understand karma, vikarma and akarma. Okay, so for karma, just so you don't get confused, I'm going to call it sukarma. Okay, so 4:17 says there is sukarma, there is vikarma and there is akarma. These are the three types. Sukarma, you heard, good karma. It generates the good kinds of actions, actions that are of the good kind. Those generate punya, which is good karma, okay? Vikarma is the bad kind of actions, and that generates pap. Those are sinful, right? And akarma generates no karma, which ultimately leads to moksha. Okay, so we have actions that generate good karma, we have actions that generate bad karma, and we have actions that generate no karma. Why is that? The difference is the understanding of the world is that karma is due to your actions, right? But the deeper understanding of karma is that it is your intention, your internal intention, what generates good, bad, or no karma, okay? So for example, let's say I'm making videos, right? I may make the same video because I want likes and clicks on my videos, right? Another intention is I'm making the same video, but I want to help people clarify their doubts about Hinduism because I had doubts myself, right? And so that's still for the pleasure, for the appreciation, right? And then the third kind of intention that I can have is just for the pleasure of God and not being attached to any outcome. I'm making the video to help selflessly, but it is for the pleasure and enjoyment of God. So these three kinds of intentions, even though I'm making the same video, one will generate good karma, one will generate bad karma, and one will generate no karma, okay? And generating no karma is how we get closer to God, right? This leads to moksha, this leads to liberation, because good karma is binding, because even though you have good intentions, it is still a selfish intention, right? Even though you're doing charity, or even though, let's say in my case, I might be making videos to help you, it is still with a selfish intention of making me feel good because I'm gonna get positive feedback, right? But the difference is if you're doing akarma, it is with no attachment to the fruits of your actions. Chapter 3 verse 19 of the Bhagavad Gita says that, right? Chapter 3 verse 19 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, always perform your duty without attachment to results. By doing so, one attains the supreme. Okay, so Krishna says, without attachment to the results, right? Without attachment, this generates akarma. Okay, and akarma, what is the results of akarma? Attainment of the supreme. Okay, so now let's visit a little bit of, again, the intentions, right? Intentions are internal, right? So we're gonna go to Bhagavad Gita chapter 16. Bhagavad Gita chapter 16. This is important for you to know. Chapter 16 verse 1 to 3 lists divine qualities of somebody. Chapter 4 verse 4 to 20 of chapter 16 lists the demonic qualities of somebody, right? And these are the intentions that somebody can have while performing action, right? So a demonic intention might be hypocrisy, arrogance, ego, anger, hatred, right? I might write a good comment in the below, but deep down I'm jealous. Or I might write a comment that seems negative, but it is providing feedback so that maybe I can improve next time, right? So these are the intention, the internal intentions, right? Another place you can look is the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, the yamas and niyamas. So these will also guide our thinking, our intentions that ultimately lead to our actions. Okay? So now how can we actually use that in our life? What is the practical, and once we understand karma, what is the practical use of it? We know now that you may pretend that you're nice, but if your intentions are still negative, you are generating pap. You are generating sinful karma, okay? But if your intention is good, right? You're generating good karma, you're generating punya, but ultimately what Krishna tells us is that even good karma is binding because it is somewhat selfish. And even, just imagine this, right? Good karma is kind of like accumulating money in your bank, right? Eventually, your money will run out, eventually. But what Krishna recommends is that we take actions that are without attachment to the results, right? You do an action without hate or wanting love, right? And these actions are ultimately only for the pleasure of God. And this is how you burn your karma, you purify yourself, and ultimately your soul achieves moksha, achieves liberation. I hope this video made you a little more aware as a Hindu. Namaste.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.